Hi everybody. Welcome once again to Low on Health Daily Rambling, which is me going over what I've done the last past day or so. Recently I probably spent way too much time today playing Modern Warfare 2. I did kind of have a New Year's resolution to kind of do pointless gaming less. Just like if it's just rehashing over the same game over and over again, just kind of cut back on that. But for some reason I was just really kind of motivated to play Modern Warfare 2 today, and it just was kind of one of those days where you just kind of want to lay back and shoot stuff. In which case I did that the majority of the day. I did watch two new shows on HBO. They had two new shows come out Friday night. The first is the Rick Gervais show, or however you want to pronounce his name. From what I heard about this show, I heard it was going to be animated, and that was really it. And not knowing really who Ricky Gervais is, I totally forgot until I saw it. Let me just go ahead and skip forward here. But I mean, it's basically three guys kind of talking, and it's mainly kind of like a podcast format. In which case, it's these three guys talking, and basically what they do is they do a little animation while they're talking, describing what they're talking about, what they're saying. I mean, what it mainly is that the two guys on the left rip on the guy on the right. In which case, they'll just be talking about topics or whatnot, and the guy on the right will say his thing, which might be a little bit far-fetched, and then the two on the left just kind of rip into him. It was entertaining for the first 10 minutes, and this is basically a podcast or animating, so it's basically just a podcast. What I didn't like is, they keep ripping on the guy, and the guy has some smart ideas, and he just can't really articulate or back them up with information, and I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the joke, if that's supposed to be part of the humor, but I eventually just kind of stopped losing interest in it and stopped watching it like halfway and don't care. If you like this type of humor, if you like this comedian, then go for it. I just don't like the idea of two people ripping on somebody, even like he's a retard, which he clearly isn't. He just has some opinions about stuff. Actually, I guess I identify more on the guy on the right because people who know me kind of know that I have just harebrained schemes or random thoughts that I think are good for discussion. This is basically kind of what it is. The guy will just say stuff and they'll talk about it, but they'll eventually end up just ripping on him for his lack of backing it up or lack of logic or lack of insight. But that was the first show that I watched. It was whatever. The other is, of course, Funny or Die, which, if you know, is basically Will Ferrell's little internet project. There's some other people, too, but, we all situate with Will Ferrell. And there is a Funny or Die channel on YouTube, in which case they put a bunch of videos out. And this thing, Funny or Die, was in my web content for a 2009 rundown. It's essentially, a bunch of sketch comedy, but the main thing about Funny or Die is it really has, top-notch actors and writing and production values, which you don't see that often. What this is, basically, Funny or Die presents is that HBO, basically a half an hour of a bunch of sketches kind of put together, and some sketches have multiple parts and would be played across multiple episodes. It was funny. If you know what kind of the humor of the Funny or Die series, you know what you're getting into, in which case, give this a watch. Those of you with cable boxes and HBO, give it a shot. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely funny, and if you haven't heard of Funny or Die, or if you don't like that type of comedy or whatever. But definitely check out the YouTube channel or funnyordie.com. There's a lot of really good content on there, and I definitely recommend it to people. Moving on, I did post up a new set of reviews up on Low on Health, basically for Rock Band, Dark Void, and White Knight Chronicles. In which case, I'm just going to run down real quick. Lego Rock Band, worth it. No online play, though, so if you find it cheap, it's worth playing. Dark Void, actually not that bad of a game compared to other things nowadays. It wasn't really swinging for the fences, but it's a solid Rocketeer kind of shooter. And then White Knight Chronicles, which I kind of go into really depth on. I was kind of not necessarily disappointed with it, but just kind of, it's old school, but not good old school. I don't know the best way to do it. I was probably just expecting a little bit too much, even though not much from it. And I am working on another set of reviews, which is probably what I should have been doing today, for Africa, BioShock, and Alien vs. Predator, which I will probably be doing the next day or so and getting up on Low on Health. And then also I will, of course, be hoping to get Heavy Rain, which, of course, now should be shipping on the 22nd, which is in a day or so. So, other than that, as always, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.